Assalamualaikum students. This video is for question 3 part A. It is from November 2023 exam series paper 2. It's part A question, therefore it has 8 marks. Question reads, with the help of examples, explain the difference between free goods and public goods and consider the view that public goods can never be provided in a market economy. As we have been telling you again and again that every question, part A or part B, every question in paper 2 contains one evaluative word. In this question, word never is evaluative. We will talk about that when we move to evaluation. Before we go for evaluation, we need to tell you the marks distribution. Knowledge understanding, assessment objective 1 would have 3 marks. Analysis, assessment objective 2 will also have 3 marks. And evaluation will have 2 marks, and that is assessment objective number 3. So there are total 8 marks, and that's how these 8 marks are divided. So we now talk about first knowledge understanding. How do we get those 3 marks? So we need to give definition of free good and public good, and we need to give examples for the both. And that's how we can get 3 out of 3. So free goods, let's take one example. For example, fresh air. Another example could be sunshine. Free goods, for example, fresh air, require no factor of the production, and their production does not involve any opportunity cost. By giving this definition, we are able to score 1 knowledge understanding mark. For the second knowledge understanding mark, we need to talk about public goods. Public goods have 2 elements, 2 features, that is non-excludability and non-rivalry. We need to give brief explanation for both features, and we need to make sure that we give these explanation in a manner that examiner clearly understands that we have separated both elements, and we have not given the explanation in a confusing manner that the examiner is unable to understand whether the explanation is for non-excludability or it is for non-rivalry. So let's be very clear that when we give the definition or explanation of non-excludability, we mention that it is non-excludability. And when we talk about non-rivalry, we do it separately. So non-excludability means no one can be stopped from using this product. Non-rivalry means use by one does not decrease the quantity available for others. Once we have given explanation for both, we can get the second knowledge understanding mark. Please look at these 2 explanations carefully, and because of these 2 explanations, the examples of public park or public library or roads or motorways, they cannot be accepted as good examples of public goods, because once you bring your vehicle, when someone brings his vehicle on the road, he diminishes the availability of road for other commuters. Similarly, a family choosing a good spot in a public park for their picnic deprives other families of that particular spot. So public park or public libraries or motorways, they are not good examples of public good. There are 3 good examples of public good, and one is street light, the other could be national defense, and the other could be a lighthouse, which actually gives a sense of direction or indicates the direction to those ship. So, example of a public good. Examples of public goods include street light or national defense. One example is enough. So there are 3 knowledge and understanding marks now. Now we have given definition for both fresh air for free goods and street light for public good. One example, 1 mark for the examples, 1 mark for the definition of free good, that is the tick in front of you, and the 3rd mark for the definition of 2 elements of public good. We now move to the analysis part. Analysis, 3 marks. So in analysis, we'll say since it is not possible to stop anyone from using public goods, it is not possible to restrict its use only to those who have paid a price. Therefore, it is not possible to charge a price, generate revenue, and or make profits from selling public goods. A free market economy which strives to make profits will not produce public goods due to its inability to generate any profits for the businesses. Now, if we go back to the question has 3 parts. With the help of examples, explain the difference between free goods and public good. Now, there is knowledge understanding. We have told the examiner the definition of free good and the definition of public good and examples. So we qualify 3 knowledge understanding marks. The second part of the question is consider the view that public goods cannot be provided in a free market economy, and that is analysis, and we are doing it now. We are analyzing, and analysis has 3 marks. That since it is not possible to stop anyone from using public goods and they are non-excludable, it is not possible to restrict the use only to those who have paid the price. Once street light is made available, everyone will benefit from it, whether they have paid or they have not paid. It is not possible to devise a system that when someone who has paid the price enters the street and street lights gets switched on automatically, and when someone enters the street who has not paid and the same street light gets switched off. It's not possible. So since it's not possible to restrict the use of public goods only to those who have paid, therefore it is not possible to charge a price and when there is no price, there can't be any revenue, and when there is no revenue, there cannot be any profits. And a free market economy, it strives, it aims, it thrives on making profits. And when there are no profits from public goods, they will not provide them. Now, this is analysis. Now, third part of the question is the word never. And that word is an evaluative word. So we now move on to discuss the evaluation. A market economy will not provide public goods unless it is funded by the government, or it is able to link the provision of a public good with that of a private good. Now, I explain both things. A market economy will not provide public goods. We have given the analysis of that. Unless government funds it. Government gives the funding to the private sector, and then the private sector provides those public goods. It is one possibility of market economy providing public goods. The other possibility of a market economy providing public goods is when they can link the provision of a public good with that of a private good. For example, a housing authority, a housing society, they cannot charge the price for street light for the reasons we have already mentioned. The street lights are non-excludable. They are available, so when they are available for everyone. However, what they can do, they can link the provision of street light along with the provision of drinking water to the houses. Now, since provision of drinking water to houses is through a pipeline, and that is not only excludable, that is also rival. That there can be a water meter, and those who will not pay the water charges, their connections can be disconnected and they can be deprived of the facility of getting clean water. So if the housing society includes the charges for street light and makes them the part of the water bill, they can provide public goods as well. They know that the public goods are non-excludable. They cannot stop anyone from benefiting from them even though they do not pay. So they can link it with the provision of something else whose consumption is excludable, as I've given you the example. So in that case, a free market economy can provide public goods. So we now need to give the conclusion, and conclusion is that in some cases, public goods can also be provided by the free market economy, though mostly it is the government that provides them. So we have actually refuted the word never. We are not agreeing to the word never, that free market economy never produces public goods. We are saying there are two cases where public goods can be provided by free market economy. At the same time, we are acknowledging the fact that in most of the cases, it is the government which provides public goods. So that's how you get the 2 marks. So 2 marks here, you get the valuation marks, and the 3 marks here, you get for analysis. So 3 marks for analysis, 3 marks for knowledge understanding, and 2 marks for evaluation. That's how you will get 8 out of 8. Thank you very much for your time.